but this was the first time he'd acknowledged her interest. When Alfred spoke again, it was as he always did, in short, unadorned phrases, like telegrams sent without expectation of a response. "You're a young woman now, living in the adult world," he said. "It's a brutal place. You'll need art to make sense of it." Yvonne laughed nervously. "That's a bit somber for the birthday wish, isn't it, Alfred?" Her husband frowned at a wine stain on the tablecloth. "There are somber times ahead." Yvonne pulled on a piece of skin next to her thumbnail. "Well, it's lovely that you are encouraging Lucie to draw," she said brightly. "I think she's inherited your talent." Lucie looked at her father. His head was still bowed. "I didn't know you drew, Dad," she said. Alfred didn't respond. "He was very talented," said Yvonne. "When we first met in Paris, he showed me his sketches from the Western Front." She turned to her husband. "Your drawings were so tragic, so powerful. Perhaps you could show Lucie your sketchbook. I think it might still be down in the basement." "No, I don't think so," said Alfred, rubbing at the wine stain, smudging its edges into the cloth. "I'm sure I threw it away." After her parents had gone to bed, Lucie crept downstairs to the basement, determined to see if her father's sketchbook was there. After a few minutes of searching, she found it in the bottom of a dusty crate. As she pulled it out, she glimpsed a movement in her peripheral vision and turned to see her father standing in the doorway. "I'm sorry, Dad," she said. "I should have asked your permission." Alfred slowly came down the stairs and sat on the bottom step. "Go ahead," he said. "Take a look. You might as well know what's coming." Lucie hesitated, then knelt, the sketchbook on the floor in front of her. She opened the stiff leather cover and leaned forward to study the drawings. They weren't the quick field sketches she'd expected. The pen and ink illustrations had been worked and reworked over time, precisely, meticulously, unflinching in their detail. Wounded soldiers crying out in agony. A man with only half a face. Corpses decomposing in the mud. Lucie took a deep breath in, the dank, earthy scent of the basement settling like silt in her throat. She tried to imagine her father's eyes moving back and forth between the paper and the scene before him, only his pen to translate the indescribable. She wondered if these were the images that visited him while he slept. His screams had punctuated Lucie's nights for as long as she could remember. She closed the sketchbook and looked up at him. "So now you know why," he said. Lucie wasn't sure what he meant, but she knew it was useless to press him for an explanation. She'd seen other men like her father, with scars both visible and not, some veterans of the war, some who'd fought the devastating Black Friday bushfires back in January that year. That was why people around these parts knew not to ask too many questions. Everyone had suffered. Everyone was tired of remembering. Alfred brought his hand to his forehead and pulled on a strand of greasy hair. "And now there's going to be another horror like the last one," he said. "Well, I did my duty once, and I saw the result." He nodded towards the sketchbook. "But you're not a soldier anymore, Dad," Lucie reminded him. "You won't have to do anything this time." "There's no such thing as doing nothing," her father replied. "Doing nothing is still a choice to stand aside and let it happen." Lucie didn't know what to say. She'd never heard her father speak this way. In his eyes, she saw something she hadn't seen before, a look of utter desolation. When she went back up to her bedroom, Lucie sat at her desk and took a pencil from the drawer. Opening the sketchbook Alfred had given her to the first page, she started to draw her father's face. She examined his features one by one, pulling each into focus. She had always been told she looked nothing like him, that she was the spitting image of Yvonne.